So beat. Got in, tied up, slept a few hours. Camille's driving up right now. It's like almost 11 o'clock. We haul out at 12:30. I'm gonna go check in with the Boatyard right now and see if I get this party started. The entire V-berth is soaking wet. Like, that hatch has cracks in it, and we took so much water over the bow last night that everything is soaking. So as soon as the boat gets on the hard, we have to pull all that bedding out and let it dry out. So let the fun begin. Now, I know a lot of you are wondering why we decided to travel 20 hours north to Ventura, California to haul the boat out. My dear friend Noah on SV Thylacine had sung the praises of this boatyard and really encouraged me to make the trip up, as he had hauled out several of his boats here, and I had just visited him when they had Thylacine out doing the refit. Now, I trust Noah's opinion over anyone else I know when it comes to anything to do with boats. And on his advice, we made the trip, and in hindsight, I could not be happier that we did so. There are not a lot of yards in Southern California that will allow you to do your own work. And I believe that Ventura Harbor Boatyard is the only yard in Southern California where you can stay on your boat while it's in the yard on the hard and do all your work. This made it possible for us to really take the most advantage of the time it's on the hard, and in the end it would have been completely impossible for us to have afforded to do what we did if other people were doing all the labor. Another amazing thing about the Ventura Harbor Boatyard is the staff. Those dudes taught me so much, and they really want you to succeed. Even if they're not getting paid an hourly wage, you know, they'll swing by and answer any of your questions and give you advice on how to do things if you need advice. And I can't explain how much I learned and gained from the experience of the Ventura Harbor Boatyard. And if I was to ever pull another boat out in California, I definitely would only do it at the Ventura Harbor Boatyard.
Seen it out of the water? First time?
I'm so stoked right now.
So this is what we did. Tied our sling from the forward one to the aft one.
Make a cradle?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
so it doesn't slip.
Yeah. I do rigging for like sculptures and stuff.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. But this is a much larger scale. Actually, I've rigged stuff this heavy, just not this shapely. Oh my gosh, I'm so stoked right now. finally hauled out.
How did it make you feel?
The happiest I've been since I bought this damn boat. Super excited.
Even when you married me?
Well, I married you on the boat, so it's all tied together.
See that cover up?
Yeah. So this is my other woman, big bottom. I like big bottom girls. So we're gonna get to work. We've only been hauled out a couple hours, kind of dried off now. Let's walk around and look at everything we're gonna be doing and go from there. So in a minute, you guys are gonna see me take this. This is the bilge out through hole. We're gonna start there and get as many of these ground down and out today before the sun disappears in a couple hours. So one bummer that we have is we have to get a new prop. Our prop has been
Looks like somebody just took a bite out of
chopped
it.
because the zinc is completely gone. This little zinc is barely here. So all that's getting replaced. Our rudder is actually wood, which like really alarmed me and I freaked out. But the like foreman of the yard here was like, don't worry about it. Like don't, you know, I was talking about things to do and he was like, saltwater preserves it. He's like, you might do more harm than good. So we're gonna talk about things at making sure that this is like secure enough for us to go, and then if I'll probably make a new rudder in Mexico. It's solid fiberglass, but for now he made me feel comfortable that we're gonna be okay, which is good because we don't have time or money to do this whole thing, but we definitely have to. This is not what we did not think that we were gonna have this big of an issue, so this is an expensive problem, unfortunately. But the good thing is I don't see any blisters whatsoever on the bottom. There's lots of old, you know, it's been so long since there was bottom paint done where this is all chipped off to the gel coat, but I don't see any blisters, which is huge, huge. So first things first, we take out all of the through holes and then we sand and kind of touch up the bottom. We're gonna fill a hole. Go this way.
A lot of shit to trip on or over. It's like fucking ankle breaker central in here, which is fine. We just gotta be careful.
Yeah, for sure. So lots of sanding to do to get her ready. This is our old like knot meter. This is a plastic plug that's in place right now. So this is coming out and we're gonna fill this hole entirely. And we have a combination knot meter, depth sounder, and temperature gauge that will go on the other side where the depth sounder is. So this one just gets filled and faired. So on this side we just have, well, we have our head out and we have our head in. Those have got to go away. And we have a new bigger strainer for our saltwater intake for our engine. And then on our cockpit drains, we're going to be cutting these, enlarging these holes. So these are going to go up to 1 1/4 inch or 1 1/2. I think 1 1/2. They're going to be monsters, which is good. So when we take a big wave over in the Southern Ocean, it'll drain quicker. So, and then here's our prop scenario, more the rudder action. But there's very little play in this, which is good because sometimes this is a weak point for Albergs, and this is like really, it's in a good way. The foreman here said that is like, that's the correct amount of play that we should have, that it's totally fine. So excited. Let's get to taking out this first bilge out and see how it goes. So the best way to go about getting these old through holes and the seat cocks that are attached to them out of your boat is you just grind them down, making sure you don't hit your boat and you don't want to damage the gel coat, and you grind it down until you see like a ring that separates this flange from the shaft that goes into the boat. So we'll take it down slowly, keep it flat, not to hit the boat, and then you can just tap it in and pull the whole business out, because there's no way, this thing is so corroded, there's no way you're ever getting it unscrewed. So let's start with this first one.
How's it look?
It's good in there. It's like probably gonna hit the boat a little bit.
Can I see?
Yeah. Don't touch it. It's hot. So probably have to fare a little bit when if I hit the gel coat, because it's like not revealing. It's like ring. There we have it. Not too much damage. A little bit to the gel coat, which will patch up. Now all you gotta do is hammer that through. Hammer that through, and let's see what that's all about.
Got a nice piece of art right here.
So we're gonna try to tap this through with just a chisel and a rubber mallet. Camille's gonna go up and kind of pull on it and film it being popped out. So let's go up and look at it real quick. So this is like the original gate valve style. I would imagine it's original considering how old it looks. So Camille's going to be up here kind of pulling on it, and I'm going to tap it and we'll see if we can get it in here. So that's gonna be our gig for
I didn't really pull on it even.
That's cool.
Because I was
For the
worried
rest
it
of
was gonna.
today and tomorrow. Oh, you see how thin our hole is right there. Not as thin as modern boats, but that's the other thing, is we'll get an idea of what the hole's like as we pull these out and get to measure them. But not a lot of corrosion on it.
Meh.
It was still good. I mean, obviously this wasn't any good. Didn't work. It was frozen open, which is no bueno. At least this one's above the water line, frozen open. The both the cockpit drains are frozen open, and the like salt water in for the engine's frozen open, and that's where you can sink a boat. Something happens, there's no way for you to shut it off, you know. So I'm gonna try to get as many of these ground off as possible before the sun goes down, so that tomorrow we can just kind of be prepping those areas and getting ready to put the new ones in. So got to get to work before it gets dark. So I managed to get all of the through hulls ground off and ready to be knocked into the boat tomorrow. This one's already knocked in, as we showed you guys. But yeah, they all went off pretty well. Have to clean up, repair some gel coat in a couple spots where the grinder touched it. But there's some stuff we got to do anyway like that. So we do have some critter living in the engine intake, but he hasn't come out yet. Let's see if we can see him. Nope. I don't know. He'll reveal himself at some point. So pretty happy with the I'm pretty happy with the progress I made before it got dark here on our first day. Tomorrow morning I'll be pulling every one of those completely out from the inside, unhooking all the hoses and everything, and getting out the old speed like knot meter so we can fill that, and getting the depth sounder out to see how much we have to enlarge that hull for a new one. So, pretty excited. Good progress.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, please give us a like, subscribe, and leave us a comment. It helps us a lot.
Thanks again to all of our patrons. Your contributions help us get the boat ready for big things.
Until next time. And they're all of his life.
No, because that's where it sucked water in the engine. Some kind of creature in there. We don't know what it is. I don't even know if he'll come out until we get rid of the thru-hull, but... You look like a sea spider. Kind of like just a crab. Try not to mess up my bottom too much. Well, he's not going to come out until we... Scared the shit out of me. Solid. I don't know. Alright, one more. Oh, two more. This one's little though, should be quick. Hopefully it'll hurt the guy. They crawled up in the engine. It's like gremlins.